Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to install a steering wheel spacer on the Porsche 991. Let's have a look on the spacer first. This is the steel part with the spline machining. It replicates the steering column and goes into the spline bore of the steering wheel. Look, this is a Porsche 997 steering wheel and this is an Audi A3 steering wheel. I choose these two different steering wheels because I want to show you that they share the internals, the core, the metal core of the steering wheel is the same across the whole Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche production. So they share the same steering wheel spacer, and because of this, this procedure, this installation procedure, is the same if you have a Porsche 991 or a Porsche 997 or even a Volkswagen Golf or an Audi RS3. It doesn't matter because the internals of the steering wheel are all the same. Okay, let's return on the car. We have to pull out the negative terminal of the battery before pulling out the airbag from the steering wheel. Okay, find a flat screwdriver and grind a C shape at its point. Then look for a hole at the bottom of the steering wheel and insert the flat screwdriver in, and you will find a spring that actuated the release of the airbag system. It's very simple, you see. At this point you can pull out the unit. It takes a moment. Now you have to pull out the connectors. There are two connectors for the airbags and one fasten for the horn. You have to unclamp that orange security lock clip to pull out the airbag connectors, and you use the same screwdriver you used to unlock the airbag spring. Okay, you see, it's very easy. It takes a moment. Then you pull a little bit stronger to pull out the horn fasten. Okay, airbag is out. Just lay it on the passenger seat and go inside the steering wheel to pull out the last connector, that yellow orange one. You have to unclamp that security lock, and you better use two ends to pull out the connector, which is attached to the steering wheel and is going to be pulled out with the steering wheel itself. Now purchase the tool to unscrew the central bolt that locks the steering wheel on the car. Now we have to pull out the steering wheel. With a quarter of wrench spin, the steering wheel is unlocked, you see. Now you just have to unscrew the bolt, and you can now pull out the steering wheel. Gently pull it out. Okay, it's done. Here you see the spacer replicate the core of the steering wheel, the same splined hole and the same slots for the clock spring assembly and the wires to cross the spacer. Before we go on, look at this marker on the steering column. Look, it must stay on the vertical. Okay, that means that your wheels are straight. Pay attention to this before you insert the spacer in the steering column, and the marker must be in line with the slot on the top of the spacer. Okay, so you will not have misaligned wheels at the end of the procedure. Now tight the central bolt. The bolt has the glue on when you buy it new, so you can't pre-tight it with your hand. You have to tight it with the wrench from the beginning. Okay, so keep tightening, and now you can insert the steel part of the steering wheel spacer. There is only one way. You tight all the bolts supplied, and get ready for next step, which is connection of the wiring harness provided for the steering wheel buttons. Okay, let's make a break and take a look on the wiring harness. It is a spare part and it's inside every steering wheel, and its purpose is to carry all the electric signals from the steering wheel buttons, paddle shifter, horn and the airbag. Those are the connectors for the airbags. Then there are some small connectors for the steering wheel button, like the radio and the cruise control. And these are the fastons for the horn connector. On the Porsche, Audi production, there are two types of harness, and they are different in that big connector on the top of the screen. Here you see them. They all carry 12 wires. They are all have 12 pins, but they are different in their external shape and the locking way. These are the two rows, and these are the pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It only changes the locking system and the external of the connector. I can't find this connector as an aftermarket supplier, so I have to use those jumper wires, those generic jumper wires, which have the same pitch between the pins, and they can be used to extend the original wiring harness of the car without cut and extend your own harness inside the steering wheel. You see, that's the connector with the pins. You take my harness and you insert in the connector. It's also pretty hard to go in, so you have to, there is no risk to accidental disconnect while driving. You better start from the steering wheel side. Take your time and make yourself help with the screwdriver to push the connector in the pins. You better first insert the bottom one, then the top one, gently, and take your time, believe me, because it's very easy to mistake and to believe that the connector is in while it is not. Okay, now that you're done on the car side, go closer with the steering wheel and insert the other side of the connectors in the connector coming from the steering wheel itself. Take your time and be careful, because during this you may accidentally disconnect the wires you just connected on the car. Check one more time that the wires are properly connected, and now gently insert the steering wheel in the spacer shaft. Make the wires go in the room that there is between the steering wheel and the spacer. Then lock the central bolt provided in the kit to hold the steering wheel in place. And now you're nearly done. You only need to put the airbag back in place. Reconnect the connectors of the airbag to the socket. The connector has different colors and some tabs inside to avoid you to connect them on the wrong orientation. Okay, push the connector in first, then push the orange secure lock, and do the same with the other one. First the connector, then the secure lock. Okay, you're done. Push back the horn wire, pre-align the airbag in the hole with the badge like you see it when you drive. Push it gently and simply push it. It takes a second, it's done. You don't even need force. Check the horn mobility. The horn must be pressed as before. And now reconnect the negative terminal of the battery and turn on the car to check you don't have warning lights strange noises, and the stalks return as they did before. Okay, the procedure is finished. I hope you find this video useful and clear. Let me say once again that this procedure is suitable for any Porsche since the 997 on, not only the Carrera, also the Cayman, the Boxster, the Macan, the Panamera, and all those cars until the current models. You're gonna find some difference depending on the model year. Like this one, this is the most important in the wiring harness inside the car. We had this type with this clip, and on some cars you can find the other type of the connector with this way of unclamping. Other differences are in the steering wheel shape. You may find a different location and number of the potholes to gain access to unclamp the airbag springs, depending on the car being a Porsche or an Audi or Volkswagen. But I think these are small differences which you are going to deal by yourself with. Otherwise, you can write in the comments or drop a mail, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you. Bye bye.